Okay, so welcome back to another review and thoughts on. This time checking out the Decedent. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. It's a lost footage horror film released in 2025, and pretty much in a family-owned funeral home. A young mortician finds herself confronted with the supernatural as she works on the deceased body of a serial killer. And it's directed by Andrew Bowser, who also sort of is in it. He stars a little bit in it. He plays a character, I believe, what was his name? I forget the character's name. Because this movie is, I'm going to say it right now, forgettable. I mean, Duncan. That was his name, Duncan. As in Duncan. This was not a slam dunk of a movie. Right before I get to the review, if anybody wants to request content such as movie reviews, commentaries, reaction videos, whatever, link in the description to my PayPal or Patreon. Links are down below in the description or info box. And yeah, let's get to it. But again, this is directed by Andrew Bowser. He also plays a character, Duncan, who also gets spoilers. I'm going to spoil the heck out of this movie. Because this movie's generic in terms of lost footage storyline of, oh, you have this father-daughter group or pair, and they own this family, funeral home, which is interesting because I did kind of like that idea of it taking place in a funeral home, and weird stuff starts to happen. But this movie's boring. I mean, there's a lack of explanation of how stuff works in terms of possession and when it turns on, when it doesn't turn on. And, I mean, the movie starts off with a funeral commercial where about this family doing pretty much offering services to whoever, and trying to remember the chick's name. We don't really know much about this father-daughter other than that the mom, I believe, died. Yeah, she died, and pretty much the dad is kind of trying to date again, I guess. Also trying to cope with it, as is the daughter. She's trying to cope as well. It stars, what's her name? Zoe Graham. I thought she did decent for what she had to do. I mean, again, not much to do here other than I did like the fact that she films herself like doing. It sort of takes you into the step by step on how they prepare the body in funeral homes and stuff like that. Where how they, if like somebody like this guy, the body she has to fix up is, I guess he's a suicide victim. Well, no, I guess he is a suicide victim, and he blew his head off, part of his face off, so she has to sculpt a new side of his face, which I thought was interesting. And also, like, it doesn't really do a whole lot with supernatural. Like, it does, but it does, like, I don't know how to explain the film, because, again, it's just a chick who gets possessed through most of it, and in a lame, boring way, and kills she kills 4 people total. One was the only decent one, which was a pretty painful one, if you ask me, and pretty horrifying one, where she, I think, uses bombing fluid in the girl's body, while she's alive. So I thought that was probably like the best kill, because then the girl, I think, passes out and then just dies after that. Which, ew, that's probably like the worst way to go. She kills her dad by the end, which sucked, because he was sort of a funny, likable character for what few minutes he was in the film. Because pretty much he's getting ready to go on a date, and so he tries to find his keys. She, I guess, gives him his keys. He leaves. Then her friend Duncan comes there. There's dialogue of, "Oh, these kids were breaking in the funeral home. I guess for different poison, like bottles and medicines or whatever they use, or something. Or they're trying to look for a safe." Which I love the duo in this. They're like, yeah, we're here for the safe, because that's the point at where she's already possessed. And also the guy this guy, I think his name's Robert, I believe, Robert something, who I guess we find out used to be a serial killer, and he like worshipped this demon god dude thing. And so like I guess his spirit or ghost is possessing her now at certain points in the film, which doesn't really do a whole lot for me because it's pretty generic. Granted, it's a practical blood in it, so it's fine there. But like the character stuff was fine for what it was at the beginning with her and her dad, and then her and Duncan. I kind of liked her back and forth, but it was just boring. Like she just she goes in her office, starts sculpting, and only like once does she she hears the body bag move. It only moves once on camera, and then also she calls her ex-boyfriend, who's a police officer, calls him in to, or no, I think he calls her. Or no, she calls him because there's a suicide note of the victim, and so he shows up, is like, we gotta take the body, and this is the point where she already is possessed and kills her friend Duncan at the computer, and then she shows her ex-boyfriend. I did it, but you have to understand, it wasn't me. It was like my body was, it was like my mind was asleep. I was awake doing this. And he's like, you're not making sense. And then she kills him easily. I forget how I think she just stabs him. Yeah. With a scalpel, I believe. Which sucked. Then she kills these two teens that break in. Very generic. Shoots the one. Or no, she shoots them she shoots both of them. They survive, but of course bleeding out. One get downstairs in the basement, I guess. She uses a blood. I forget what she called it. It was a thing where they suck the blood out of the dead body before they start doing stuff to it. Not that, what you know what I mean. Or they start preparing it. And then that's when she does the bombing fluid with the other chick. Or embalmed and then at the end her dad comes in. She tries to warn him to stay away from her. Of course he doesn't listen, and it sucks that she kills him, and then she lets out a roar, and the whole place goes all power transformer, I guess, where all the power goes out, and then I guess she died from that. I guess I have to say I guess, because they don't explain that. They don't. I guess she doesn't die, because then we get another body cam. This movie takes place between surveillance cameras in this place and body cams. I meant to say, and a GoPro at some points. But yeah, at the end, I guess she kills another police officer and is possessed now forever, I guess, for good, because it was generic ending, jump scare. dumb lost footage as much as I thought it wouldn't be. I thought it was going to be decent with the idea of a funeral home and supernatural stuff happening. But no, not really. Like, a whole lot doesn't really happen. It's just mostly her. She gets possessed. And then she kills people in lame ways, except for one way. And it ends generically with her coming at the camera and an officer wearing a goofy mask, half of a face that she was trying to sculpt. So, and yeah, it's low budget and all, but there's better lost footage. There's better low budget lost footage films that have done the possession stuff better. Heck, even Wreck. I guarantee I haven't seen the movie. I saw reviews and clips of it. Even The Tunnel. You know, I'd rather watch The Tunnel. I recommend that movie over this. That doesn't have a whole lot of money at all, but they were able to still do stuff and make you creeped out with stuff, and you cared about the characters. I don't really care much by the end about this chick. I liked her at the beginning, and it got really repetitive and boring when she started getting possessed, unpossessed, possessed, unpossessed. So, like, yeah, it was just boring. And it got silly when you see the ghost of the deceased guy, serial killer dude. Wasn't really anything scary to run home about. So, yeah, overall, I would say this is a skip for me. I don't recommend it. Even if you're a lost footage fan, I'm not recommending it. But yeah, overall, those are my thoughts. I thought it was forgettable, boring, unlikable for the most part characters, and generic ending. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share. Peace and love.